12 F-15 fighter jets and 4 KC-135 Stratotanker aerial refueling aircraft have been sent by the United States to Muwaffaq Salti Air Base in Jordan from RAF Lakenheath in the United Kingdom. This deployment is a component of Washington's military buildup in the Middle East, which tries to address widespread regional instability and lessen escalating tensions with Iran. The United States air combat capabilities around Iran's western access routes are significantly enhanced by the redeployment of F-15 fighter jet to Jordan. This allows for quick access to Iranian, Syrian, and Iraqi airspace, while keeping a sufficient operational distance to reduce the risk of Iranian ballistic missiles and long-range drone weapons. Given that Muwaffaq Salti Air Base has historically functioned as a frontline operational center for air and missile defense missions intended to counter Iranian threats, Jordan's selection as a strategic deployment location is no accident. During earlier times of increased regional tensions, they were involved in intercepting Iranian missiles and unmanned aerial systems. When compared to places in the Persian Gulf, the utilization of bases in Jordan shortens transit times from an operational perspective. Additionally, these sites preserve U.S. aviation assets' freedom of movement by offering a certain level of defense against Iran's anti-access and area denial tactics centered on the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is conducting national air defense drills at the time of this deployment. Iran is raising the level of preparedness throughout its integrated air defense network and repositioning surface-to-air missile systems around major strategic installations and urban areas. Because of this circumstance, there is a much higher chance of making a mistake. The 48th Fighter Squadron, which is based at RAF Lakenheath, is responsible for this deployment. Among them are F-15 versions, which are well known for their exceptional long-range strike capability and air superiority. Furthermore, mission endurance is extended throughout the Levant, Iraq, and the northern Arabian Peninsula by accompanying KC-135 Stratotanker refueling aircraft. Combat air patrols can now execute quick strike options without depending on forward bases that are at risk. One of the most potent non-stealth fighter jets in contested areas is highlighted by the presence of the F-15 fighter jet, especially the attack-optimized model. Its huge payload capacity, sophisticated radar systems, and integration with electronic warfare equipment are the sources of this capabilities. The F-15 is well suited for prolonged missions against multi-layer air defense networks thanks to this combination of features. The operational geometry of deployment was significantly altered by the presence of the KC-135 Stratotanker. The F-15 was able to operate from scattered bases, conduct lengthy patrols, and carry out several attack or interception missions per sortie because to its capacity to refuel in the air. This made adversary targeting calculations much more difficult. Beyond a simple show of force, the repositioning of the F-15 and KC-135 is an intentional optimization of air power economics, geographic considerations, and escalation management. A wider stage of operational preparation is indicated by the deployment of fighter jets, as well as the rise in U.S. strategic transport aircraft, such as multiple C-17 Globemaster III and C-5M Galaxy transport aircraft, traveling from U.S. bases and RAF Lakenheath to the Middle East. This stage aligns with the pre-contingency force posture modifications. The introduction of American F-15 Strike Eagle fighter jet with the Eagle passive active warning survivability system signifies a significant improvement in defense capabilities. The fighter jet capacity to withstand radar-guided threats and electronic warfare settings is greatly enhanced by this equipment. Another complicated factor is Iran's growing ties to China and Russia, where regional security dynamics interact with the interests of big powers. Iranian leadership is reportedly preparing for a wider escalation scenario by transferring assets to Moscow. In the end, the expansion of U.S. air power in Jordan is a calculated move meant to preserve escalation supremacy while maintaining diplomatic ties in the face of a more unstable regional climate.